everybody. Welcome in to the second edition of Off Air with Amy. This is our streaming show coming from my home studio, but I work at 7 News, as you may know, doing a lot of newscasts on television every day, but also bringing you this extra special coverage as we dig a little deeper into stories that you care about. We're going to be talking today with one of our reporters about TikTok and this crazy challenge that is going on that is putting families at great risk for expense and kids at risk for criminal charges. So we're going to warn you about that. Pull in our Taylor Farmer for that. We're also going to be talking to David Britt. He's retiring from county council, and he told me a story. I said, hey, you've been doing this a long time, and you couldn't talk about a lot of things when you were still there, but you're leaving. So what can you tell me now? We'll talk to him, see what he has to say about BMW. Were people really on board? You're going to be surprised to hear what he has to say. We've also got the amazing video that I'm going to show you in just a little bit of the Clemson president's daughter, Grace, graduating at the Clemson Life program. And when she races across the stage to her dad, something crazy happens. We'll show it to you. We'll tell you what Jim Clements had to say about the experience as well. They were on the Today Show this week. I mean, all kinds of stuff has been going on for them. So congratulations to them. Very exciting times in their family. But let's start with the most important thing, which is the stuff that you cannot miss, okay? There are things going on that you need to know about. And today, as I mentioned, we're going to go to this situation with TikTok, this danger that faces your family. If you have one of those school-issued devices, a Chromebook or whatever, there is a challenge going on that you're going to want to know about. So let me pull in Taylor Farmer on the Chromebook challenge that's going all over TikTok and let you know what you need to know as a family to protect yourselves. We've got Taylor Farmer, one of our reporters, with us today to talk a little bit about this trend that's going on online involving TikTok. Once again, Taylor, we hear about this stuff all the time, right? Something takes off and then it becomes dangerous, and we all find out that we need to warn kids about this. What's going on this time?
Well, you know, on TikTok, everyone wants to go viral, and this is another one of those viral challenges. The Greenville County School District tells me it's called the Chromebook Challenge, where students are essentially getting their Chromebooks, which if you don't know, that's like kind of their laptop that they do some of their schoolwork on, and they're getting just items that they can plug into the USB ports, or they're sticking it into the USB ports, trying to get their Chromebook to catch on fire.
Oh my gosh. And so this is causing problems around the country. What are you noticing? I know you've started digging in on the story. There were videos out there this morning. Are things starting to change? Is TikTok paying attention to this?
Yeah, earlier today when I looked on TikTok for the Chromebook challenge, it immediately came up. There was a bunch of videos. And then we went and did an interview and came back to the station, and I searched it again, and it had been kind of censored. You can still find some of the videos, but I saved a couple for us to go back and look at. Some of those had already been taken down. And if you look up the Chromebook challenge, it gave you kind of a prompt that TikTok said that online challenges can be dangerous. I guess they're, seeing that this is becoming a trend and causing dangerous situations in some of the schools.
Yeah, and potentially even at your house, right? If the kids pull this off at home too, this would be dangerous. Or even if they experiment with this in your home, it could be dangerous. So what are they asking parents to do? Are they telling parents to talk to their kids, or what's going on?
Yeah, the only thing that parents really can do is tell their kids not to do it. But they have to have that conversation, because I think sometimes students think it's just a trend, nothing's really going to happen, or students will think it's funny that they got their Chromebook to catch on fire. But really, it could be very dangerous, and maybe sometimes they don't realize how dangerous. So they're just asking that parents talk to their students when they come home and tell them the dangers that could be associated with this. And they're also getting law enforcement involved. So depending on how bad the situation is, if you do catch your Chromebook on fire or whatever else, that charges could come with that.
And also, it's expensive, right? If your child were to catch their Chromebook on fire, you guys have signed paperwork that makes you liable for paying for that equipment if they ruin it or destroy it, right?
Exactly. And I have not looked up how much those Chromebooks are, but I'm sure that they are expensive. And that's another thing that the Greenville County School District told me was there's 78,000 students in Greenville County that they are supplying with these Chromebooks. Obviously, there's got to be some kind of budget for that. And they were telling me that this not only is a burden on the school district when they have to replace the Chromebooks, but also for taxpayers. I mean, this is essentially coming out of their pockets as well.
Well, you can watch Taylor Farmer's story. It's on WSPA.com, along with the rest of our amazing content this week. Thanks, Taylor.
You're welcome, Amy.
All right. Well, we want to do more of what you can't miss right now on WSPA.com. This is an important thing to bring to your attention because we've got a lot of important stories I was noticing that I think you're going to want to read about or head online to get more information about. So let me pull up a couple of things. First of all, there is this major health situation with Prisma Health. If you are a United Healthcare insurance carrier customer, you have this risk of this falling apart because they are having difficulties reaching a contract arrangement to carry on services in their agreement. And so at the moment, it's going to be later in the summer where that would come at risk or in play for you, but it's something you need to keep an eye on. We've got all the details on WSPA.com. Just look for this story. You can search the contract dispute story and you'll find it on our website. We've also got a settlement that's underway with settling because it was snooping on some people. There is a $95 million settlement. So if you use a device that has Siri on it, you may want to read the details to see if you qualify to get in on the settlement. There is money on the table for some people, and if you're involved, you may want to check it out. But you do need to read the details, and there are a lot of them. So make sure you qualify. Also, we've got this amazing thing that's happened for Shoeless Joe Jackson, the Greenville native, the Hall of Famer, potential guy who never got to be in the Hall of Fame because of some of the things he did as a player. So we will let you read the details, but they have changed everything. He is now eligible to be in the Hall of Fame. Some of the officials in the MLB saying, hey, you know, they basically had a life ban. They died without getting in. So maybe now we let them in posthumously. So check it out. It's a neat story. It's got a Greenville tie, and I know you guys will find that one uplifting. We've also got the Greenville Country Music Fest. It was a huge deal last year. The headliners have been announced, and you can read about it. But the big thing I wanted to draw your attention to is there's a link on our story here to get information about the tickets. So you're going to want to go, because those tickets are on sale now. You're going to want to go ahead and get your tickets if you are interested. This is in August, so it's something that you can check out, and we hope that you take part if you enjoy country music. I know a lot of you guys do, right? I mean, we're in the South. This is what we do. This is how we live. All right, so we're going to move along and open up the hot mic today. This is the segment where I bring in a guest. We talk about some of the things that they have to say that maybe we haven't heard before. Now we're going to open up that hot mic and talk to David Britt, the county councilman who is leaving his post, moving on into the Public Service Commission. Everybody, I'm so happy to bring in David Britt. He has been serving the county of Spartanburg forever. He's been leading a company in Spartanburg forever. And so, David, let's talk a little bit about all the things you've done, but particularly your public service. A lot of people don't realize that you work with the Tyndall Corporation. That's your real job, right? And county council was this side piece that became a huge piece of your life. So talk about maybe what you're taking away as you walk away from this 30 plus years, 34-ish years, doing what you've done for the county. What are you thinking about? Is it hard?
It's extremely hard. And, you know, Amy, right here beside me, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to pull it over and share my screen. This is a picture of me and my grandfather back on the little tobacco farm in Dillon County in probably 1955. And I have that picture beside my Order of the Palmetto that Governor McMaster honored me with a couple of years ago. But yeah, this little country boy that grew up on a small tobacco farm between Latta and Bennettsville, you know, having the opportunity, you know, to serve, you know, not only the people of my council district, but all over Spartanburg, which has impacted all over South Carolina and the Southeast. It's a great, I think it's a great demonstration that if you listen to that voice in your ear, which is, I think, God speaking to us. He's the one that pushed me to actually go to Wofford. It got me to Spartanburg. And my plan was to go to law school and go back to Florence in the PD area and practice law. But there was a different plan, and that was to work in industry here in Spartanburg. He opened up a door that I wasn't expecting. I met the owner of Flowers Industry, Langdon Flowers, and
wow.
He convinced me to go and go to work with the company. But all these things that have happened just from that, that change of life plan to serving on the school board, which I did not want to do. And, that wasn't my plan. I was convinced to do that. Again, that door opened. And then even on county council, the last thing in the world I want to do in 1991 is run for county council. It was a dysfunctional group. And my wife said if I did it, she wouldn't speak to me for 3 months.
Wow.
But there was a man whose also picture is on the wall right behind me is Bill Lowndes, who was the owner and CEO of Tyndall Corporation. And I'd been working for Tyndall for about 3 years. But and we're in the middle of a recession, January of 91. And Bill Lowndes told me, he actually, when I went in to talk to him about this pressure I was getting to run in this direction, and I only had like 2 hours to make a decision. Bill told me, he said, you absolutely have to do it. He said, and Bill and I had served on a board, back in the late 70s together. And Bill knew me before I came to Tyndall, but he said, David, we've got 40,000 people that are unemployed in Spartanburg County right now. This was January of 91. We're in the middle of a recession. He said, you can bring companies to Spartanburg. He said, you've got to do it. And he said, you will win. And he said, but 2 things you got to do. Never put yourself in a compromising position or Tyndall. You're well compensated. Just go create hope and opportunity for the people of Spartanburg.
That is amazing. So talk about, like, if there was what was your first feather in your cap? I mean, what, as you got busy and got working, what was the first thing where you're like, oh, we brought that here, we did it, we did something big,
There's no question. It is the golden goose that continues to lay eggs in Spartanburg. That was BMW in 1992. I was fortunate. I learned a lot about economic development from Governor Carroll Campbell. He had gotten elected to bring jobs to South Carolina. And I was fortunate to be on his team in late 91 when that first company, when we found out this, German firm was looking at into the United States. And let me just, and a lot of people don't understand this. They think, oh, we've had all this development over these last 15, 20 years. And in 1991, I took office, I got elected May 7th. That first year, we had $5 million invested in the county the whole year and 185 new jobs. I mean, monthly right now, we're recruiting 365 million a month. And that was 5 million for the whole year. Wow. So that was without a doubt the biggest, the pressure that we all felt just to get jobs here. Spartanburg had struck out and actually the upstate for about 5 years. We couldn't get anybody to come to Spartanburg because for 100 years we've told people basically stay away. We're gonna protect the tobacco farmers and the textiles. We don't want any other industry coming into this state that would take their workforce and also impact wages. So, and it worked from 1940 to 1990, Amy. There was only $1.2 billion invested in this county, and that's in today's dollars, in 50 years.
Wow.
And less than 1,800 jobs created in 50 years. So that pushing back. So when we landed BMW, it was like a meteor had hit a swimming pool. It was just incredible. And at the time, they only were going to invest $460 million and hope to get to 2,000 jobs in the next 10 years. BMW, like I say, they are the golden goose, and they have created all this along with the residents of Spartanburg in the upstate because they rolled up their sleeves and proved to the world and other people in South Carolina, and I think even to some folks here, that the people of Spartanburg and South Carolina can do anything, including build the best automobile in the world, the ultimate driving machine, BMW.
It is a lovely, sweet car, that's for sure. Talk about maybe what you couldn't talk about in the past. You're getting ready to say, see ya. What happened behind the scenes with BMW, maybe that we haven't heard about before, that maybe you couldn't talk about in the past, but maybe you have the luxury to do now?
Great question, because you would think that everybody would have been jumping for joy within this county and on county council that here we had an opportunity to bring a company that was going to invest a lot of money and open up jobs and opportunity. There were many votes on council. Even the discussions were not in favor of BMW. There was a gentleman, a businessman, that grabbed me by my tie one day when he heard we were recruiting BMW and we're going to offer him incentives. He grabbed me by my tie up and pulled me right up to his face and said, "Do not offer them incentives. Do not bring those Germans here." And I was going, "What are you talking about?" He said, "It will change Spartanburg forever." But even members of council, there were questions, should we do this? I was going, guys and ladies, look at where we are. Downtown Spartanburg is boarded up. Greenville downtown was basically boarded up.
Yep.
I mean, and there were communities, I mean, people could not put food on their tables for their children and clothes on their backs. That's how bad it was. But that people have no idea how close it came in the fight that was going on. Fortunately for us, back then we did not have cell phones and the internet.
Right.
The world didn't get to see us fighting behind closed doors on this debate. You would think it would have been a slam dunk. That's probably one of the things that really shocked me. But also, again, I think that's why God put me in this position to serve. I played sports all my life. On that little tobacco farm, I worked with everybody, even people that had less money than I did, and we didn't have a whole lot. But I learned how to build bridges and not dig ditches. And that's what I tried to get that council to see. I'm the only one that's ever served on council since 1991 that's worked in industry. You've had lawyers, you've had, real estate people, you've had home builders, teachers, you name it, we've had it. But the only one that's ever worked in industry. And in industry, you learn how, in business, you learn how to work as a team. And that's what we did not have. In 1991, we also, we had a dysfunctional group. I think the city of Spartanburg was suing the county, or we were suing the city. We were fighting the delegation. We were fighting, the delegation in Columbia. And I learned, and I watched them too. It's easier to fight than work together. I mean, it really is. If you work together, you got to put some effort into it. And we were able
It's like a marriage, right? It's like a marriage. It's easy to fight, but you gotta work together to make it work. Yeah.
That's right. You got to communicate and see what's in the end. And the thing that kept driving me, again, Spartanburg was fortunate. For years, they had textile industry, at least here in this county, and a couple others. Michelin was the only real big foreign industry that was here. They came in 1978, and that's a story I'll tell you if you want to know.
Yeah, but I love it.
I look back to Dillon County and Florence and that whole area. There was no industry. So, that's what was driving me. These jobs would offer hope and opportunity for every resident. And in BMW, I mean, they've always underpromised and over-delivered. That company, people say, why do you love BMW so much? I said, it saved not only Spartanburg County, the upstate South Carolina, but it's impacted the whole Southeast. There would be no Honda, Toyota, Kia, Mercedes, Volvo, not only in South Carolina, but Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee. None of those companies would be here had it not been for the success that BMW had. And again, the people of Spartanburg are the ones that have made those cars and made them happen.
And my thanks to David Britt for taking the time to talk to us. We had a big, long conversation. And the big thing is, he had led the Tyndall Corporation all these years on top of doing the county council job, as he kind of described how that evolved. And he's leaving both and moving on to the Public Service Commission. He was elected. They do this only a few times around the year where they can do this to appoint a new person. And the openings only happen every so often. So the timing lined up where they were voting and approved him to be on the Public Service Commission, which means I don't know how popular he's going to be, because he's going to be setting our power rates. So that's a conversation for another day about how that works. But we'll be seeing him at those Public Service Commission meetings in the future as we continue to follow David Britt's career. He's not done, but he's done with County Council. All right, stay with us. We have what I love to think of as my favorite part of the show, because we need some positivity, and I call it Something Good. And this week, we've got something really good. I head out in the streets to talk to people.
And Grace
Clements, the daughter of the president of Clemson University, gets super excited about graduation. All right, I'm Amy Wood, and this is Something Good, where we talk about the great things that are going on all over the region. And we've got a lot of them to get to, including that amazing video, right? There is this beautiful young woman. She is in the Clemson Life program. Her name is Grace, and she happens to be the daughter of the president of Clemson University. And she went through their program and graduated. And so it was her turn to walk the stage.
Grace Clements.
Fine. Dad got the hug he needed after all, and got a hug from Mom too. So a really sweet day for this family. And of course, Jim Clements is pretty popular on Twitter, and he loves to post. And here's what he said about it. He said, "Clemson Life teaches independence, job skills, and apparently how to sack a university president. Hashtag dad down. Hashtag best graduation ever. Hashtag amazing Grace." That is what he calls his sweet girl. He calls Grace Amazing Grace, which is so sweet. All right, we also have your comments, and we love to get to those. The comment of the week, as I like to call it. We've got a couple because we talked about a lot of important things last week on development especially, so check this out. The first comment is coming in from Lee Stedman Jackson saying, overall on development, not positive. I used to live in the country. Lots of land around, hardly any traffic, now not so much. All these subdivisions taking up all the land is sad. And of course, the traffic's 10 times worse. I do not want to see the GSP area turned into Atlanta. So there you have it from Lee Stedman Jackson. Appreciate the comments. We had over 800 of them. Here's another one. Craig Cooper saying, in Upper Anderson County, they're building subdivisions on roads that haven't been repaved in 40 years. The roads are more pothole patches than road. If a subdivision is going to be built, then fix the roads around it first. We've seen that happen all over the place. We've also had some great feedback on the show on our YouTube channel, the WSPA 7 YouTube. Pretty funny things said, really love this idea of the show. She's talking about the show, and she says, I'm always looking for local news, and we are always so glad to provide it, right? That is our fun. That is what we like to do. Also, we want to do the most important thing, which is our Something Good segment today, where we show you what people are saying, their good moments from the week, and there's been so much to share this week. So check out Something Good.
Artisphere is great. The Duck Derby is great. I can't just name one thing because there's so many things that are great.
So lots of good things going on.
Lots of good things.
All the restaurants, all the boutiques, modern now, vintage. I mean, just so many great stores.
This is our 5th year. So when we moved, you used to be down there.
Yes, that's right. We used to have our little studio down there. Now we're up there.
Yeah. We watch you every night. We watch, that's the network.
Well, we love that. What's going on good in your world?
I moved down here yesterday.
Here?
Yeah.
That's amazing. And have you been here for a while?
We drove down yesterday from Michigan. She's going to work this summer.
Oh, great. So you are moving on your own to Greenville.
Yes.
How exciting.
Yeah.
How did you find out about us?
Well, I'm working for BMW.
Oh, great.
So that kind of brought me down here.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
So your sister got married.
Yes.
Mama, are you surviving? Are you tired?
Yes.
And you had fun too, I'm sure.
Grandma.
And how proud were you?
Oh, very.
She was lucky to have you there, right?
Yes.
That's so nice. What a blessing.
Yeah, that's good.
And are you all in the area? Do you live here?
I
Or?
live in Seattle for Omaha.
Oh, wow. So you've traveled.
Yeah, she did. We're in TR. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, congratulations to the whole gang.
It was our last day of high school. Yeah. Does that count?
That's something good.
That's something alright.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Are you a little nervous about what comes next? No? You ready?
No. Yeah. Ready.
So
Excited for a new chapter.
And so are you guys off to college or what are you doing?
Yeah, off to college.
Great.
Excited for new adventures to come, new independence.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Are you going far from home or closer? You don't have to say where, but
Yeah, sort of.
Kinda.
Far-ish.
a little bit of space?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Well, congratulations. We have so many graduates right now, and I know you guys are all excited, and we're excited for you. Good luck with your future.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
Take
appreciate
care.
it.
Thanks. Wow, they were great to talk to. So many fun people out in the streets. I stopped by Spartanburg this week as well. So next week, look for some Spartanburg comments. And we're going to be continuing to drop in around the upstate to get your videos. But if we don't see you, we don't want you to feel left out. So you can go ahead and send in your something good. This is the wonderful text line that I have. It comes right to my phone. I can see your comments and videos as soon as you send them in. So go ahead and text 864-990-3431. After you record it horizontal so we can use it on the show. And also, if you need, you can just scan this. And this is the way you can stay up to date with me on social media. You can find me on all my platforms. Another way that you can reach out and message me or tag me in a video or send it via private message. However you choose to connect, that is great. That's also a great place to go and comment on the various stories we're sharing all week long, so you can be part of this conversation on Off Air with Amy. I want to thank you for watching again this week. It's been a lot of fun. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And of course, we will see you soon right here on Off Air with Amy, and of course on 7 News as well. Bye.